So hi, I'm Phil, and this is my wife Suze, and together we run Little Bakehouse at Launceston.
We predominantly make sourdough bread, and the bread itself is the most natural thing in terms of its ingredients are literally flour, water and sea salt. That's it. Just wholesome, tasty and healthy bread. We don't put any additives or preservatives or any raising agents in our bread, and nor do we put any baker's yeast. It's a long fermentation process, and as a result it's healthier and better for people generally. When we started to make the bread, it was something that we wanted to try and keep as locally Cornish as we could. So I did a little bit of research, and we found there's two mills in Cornwall. One is at Coteal, which is a national trust, and they're only seasonal. We wanted something obviously for the bakery which was all year round, so we managed to find a farmer down near Newquay that imported an Austrian mill, and he grows his own wheat, he grinds it there, they use it for their bakery, and we buy it from them. When the flour arrives, obviously we've got to plan our bakes. We take into consideration any orders we've got, and we have to plan probably 2 days in advance, so we have to make up enough sourdough to go in it. And sourdough is the replacement for baker's yeast basically. It's made of flour and water, and it's formed over a period of 5 to 8 days to make it a culture full of bacteria, lactobacilli they call it, and that basically is the natural way to leaven the bread. So we use that in proportions different to every single recipe, so that we can leaven our bread to our specific requirements. So each sourdough starter is taken from what we call a mother starter, which is always kept in the fridge. A portion of that is taken out and fed so that we have enough for the day's bake, and each portion goes into the recipes. Then it takes 3 to 4 hours for the bulk fermentation to happen. That dough is then portioned off into bread portion sizes. It is then folded and shaped and put into either tins or proving baskets, which we call bannetons. Breads are shaped into the bannetons and put into the fridge overnight, and then in the morning we come in nice and early and prime the oven so that it's at the right temperature, around about 200 degrees. It's got an element of steam in there. We turn the bannetons dough out onto the trays, and then we use our lame to slash and make markings onto the bread depending on the flavours of the bread itself, and very quickly as possible, we put those into the oven for 30-40 minutes depending on the size of the bread to bake them off. Having the steam in the oven gives it a nice crisp to the crust of the loaf. When the breads are baked, obviously they come out of the oven, we check them to ensure that they're baked fully through. The easiest way to do that is turn them over and give them a tap. If it sounds hollow and they look nice and to our expectations, then they're ready to go. So we bring them down into the shop, or we put them on cooling racks ready to go out to any orders, and the ones into the shop go into their allotted space and in the windows, and then we open the shop and ready to go.
So the future of sourdough, quite simply, it's under massive growth and has been for the last 2 to 3 years. People's interest, the general public's interest in finding healthier, more honest foods, understanding where they come from, how they're made, particularly on the craft industry, when they can actually see the person like we do in our bakery, knowing where those products come from, knowing the ingredients, trusting the heritage and trusting the supply chain is critical and crucial to a lot of people with regards to their health. So the interest of sourdough will continue to increase. The future of Little Bakehouse, we're going to just continue to do what we do, we're going to continue to improve what we do, we're going to add new flavours. As the years tick by, we'll probably see ourselves moving into various different channels. We've got a few ideas and a few projects that we're working on in the background at the moment. But at the moment we have one bakery and one shop. It'd be nice to think there's going to be 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5. We'll just see how the years roll.